I think it would give Newbee such a hard time to play this game.
So I guess this Tiny or this Visage have to be cores now, right? One of the two. So I think the Bristle pick is going to make this Tiny core a little scarier, but on the other side, I think the Visage is way scarier to play against as the Bristle. So I think Newbee's going to be more inclined to put this Tiny on the mid lane, or what they could do is they put the Tiny with the Grim in the safe lane. And they kind of do this big combo to try to burst the Bristle in the lane. He has Inkswell, you know, he tosses avalanches. So I think Newbee is just going to pick a hard carry that they're going to make space for with these four.
I really agree. And I wonder if you guys agree with me, just overall as we take a step back from the individual hero mechanics, I feel like Newbee have really had an answer to OG so far in this draft. Are you surprised by that?
I'm surprised by this.
Omni Knight pick. All right. Well, you want to talk about heroes not dying. So what are the lanes here for OG?
Mid Omni Knight, maybe?
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think mid Whisper, mid Bristle.
I don't know.
I want to see it.
Is it OG Radiant? I believe they're Radiant, right?
I believe so, yes.
So if OG's Radiant, the Bristle can actually stack his own Ancients from the mid lane with Quill Spray. So you can just walk under the cliff, Quill Spray, stack his own Ancients, and if he does that every minute for the first 5-6 minutes, he'll hit this level 7, and then he's going to hit level 10 in the next minute.
They'll probably decide off of the last pick on Newbee, how they put their lanes. I would actually really like Timbersaw here for Newbee. I don't know if they're capable of playing all their heroes like that, but they have...
Triple strength cores.
Yeah, 4 strength heroes.
You don't have to worry about scaling too much this patch, I think. A lot of the heroes scale without needing like a hard carry, right? So it's like there's Ags now, there's Moon Shards if maybe this Tiny gets a Moon Shard late game, even the Tiny Ags Daedalus, there's your physical damage in the late game. So this Timbersaw, if they play it with like all their heroes, they can put the Timber mid or top. He's going to have a good game. He's going to slow down the game because OG can't pressure him. He can sit in front of all their towers. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I like OD and Timber, but I don't know if they're going to pick a hero for Yawar maybe in the safe lane instead. I feel like they might be thinking about Slark. I wouldn't like it as much, but could be something that makes sense. All these heroes are kind of abused this tankiness or like long fights with high sustain.
What about a Life Stealer?
I think it's okay, but I feel like it might just lack some damage. I don't know if he can cut through those heroes.
Statistically, Lifestealer, there you go. That has been a late game hero in this tournament and in the recent past. Guys, we got a heck of a game here underway. OG facing off against the North American squad for the second year in a row to start.
I think the Timbersaw suggestion, I looked at that draft, I was like, Timber is amazing here, but I was thinking, does this fit how, like, Newbee's team identity? Would they put Yawar and a hero like Timbersaw? Are they looking for the Lifestealer or something like Weaver?
Yeah.
And they do end up going for the more classic type carry, which doesn't put them on as much of a timer as a Timbersaw would have.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the mentality they have. They're like, okay, OG will hit a mid-game timing, we need to survive that, and we'll win late.
I also just like the synergy that comes from the rest of the Newbee lineup. Like, we could look at Yawar, but we've been talking about the Grimstroke and what can work with Soulbind, and there's so many different things that can do it.
Yep.
And OG should be aware of this. They were the ones who started trying to find their confidence back at ESL 1 Birmingham by running these Grimstroke abusable Soulbinds and created this meta that we find ourselves still tapping back into every now and then.
Yep. This does not look very similar to most of OG stuff from the past, though. If you were watching OG at TI8 and you haven't been watching too much Dota this season, OG have barely played these heroes all year. They started playing the Carry Wisp just here at TI9. They've played a little bit of Elder Titan on Jerax and a little bit of Rubik, but this time it's No Tail on the Elder Titan. Hasn't played that too much this season. Seen a little bit of Omni Knight, but Thompson, Bristleback, like, it's not like they've never played the heroes, okay? But it's not the bread and butter OG that you would have seen earlier, and they're really good at adapting and coming up with new cool strategies. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they pull this off in this game.
Well, the battles for the runes. Newbee is able to at least grab 2 of them. They couldn't grab the top one. Snaking was trying to contest No Tail for it. Did he actually send his boar over?
Yeah, he destroyed the last one.
Yeah, so it's only 2 runes going the way of Newbee, 1 the way of OG.
That could have almost been 3 for 0 if
I love how all
No
these
Tail didn't get the rune.
Like we had an undisclosed person who was up here before, but all the goofy flags is all the icons of OG that they're running, and it's just like every different pose that Goofy can actually take. OG, as they said, like mental kind of play against almost everybody.
Warfare.
Yeah, No Tail, that's a lot of damage he's taking up on top lane, snaking an MSS. They put the Soul Assumption into him already. Obviously, Anna's going to give the regeneration. And this is the lane that we have seen OG abuse during the group stage as well. The ET, who could just get so much damage from these ET Spirits. Even like in a dual lane, it's enough. Like he runs back in with now plus 55 damage at level 1 and just wants to beat the crap out of the support. But it's just fueling MSS with the Soul Assumption, as long as MSS has the sustain.
Yeah, I think OG would like to trade with MSS as much as possible because he's low on regen in the lane. He hasn't brought too much stuff. No mangoes, because he wants to go for this quick Bassi. And I would imagine he will use the Courier soon to get up some mana here, because Visage without mana in lane is really terrible. It's one of the weakest heroes in Dota when it has low resources in lane, just not very good damage, weak animation, bad armor. And yeah, you got to play on that mana, especially as a support.
I want to also just keep a side eye on that mid lane. CCNC versus Topson. We just go to the Grand camera. We never move away from mid lane. CCNC, he's already 9-3 up against the 5-0 Topson, who's got an extra little bit of a wave coming his way though. But CCNC actually got a nice toss back onto Topson. So he took some damage from the tier 1 tower. Maybe not exactly what Topson was looking for, but it does just make you think a little bit more about how the positional play is going to be coming in here from OG. How can you actually fight against Newbee and actually win a positional battle? Obviously you have an IO, but getting slowed up or controlled up by Grimstroke with the stuns that come from him, open wounds, you got another slowdown through the Grave Shield, you got Beastmaster Roar, Tiny Toss, Avalanche, like it just seems to just be coming in spades for Newbee when it comes to control.
The key hero of the strategy for OG is actually Omni-Knight that we haven't talked too much about, because he's the true enabler of the lineup. He needs to hard dispel the Roar. He needs to protect the IO or the Bristol, whoever is the carry of the game. We'll have to wait and see who becomes the true carry of it. And yeah, he is what is going to keep the fights together. Because if they don't sustain long enough, they can just get killed off by burst.
Really thinking about diving CCNC. He's got 3 Quill Spray stacks up top. He's going to come underneath the tier 2 tower. And maybe a little bit too deep. Is there any support that wants to TP over? CCNC feels like can go back in for a little bit more. Hit him with the tree. Thompson's so low, but CCNC still with the 3 Quill Spray stack. The tree toss. It's so much damage, but not enough. 29 HP. And CCNC has to move to the north side of the tower. This is why we always keep our eyes on mid.
Well, Thompson's trying to deny himself to this neutral camp. CCNC's coming over.
He's got toss available, but all right, Alphas win.
That's a long death timer though. He's down for 25 seconds. CCNC right now I think should be nuking out this wave and suicide to the tower. That way he gets all the experience and gold here and gets back to lane with full resources. I hope he's going to make this exact play. He's buying a bottle. And I think while this is, he's just going to kill himself. Yes, perfect. This is the best play he could make.
Thompson fortified, probably just to make sure that CCNC can't get every single CS there.
It's just one.
Yeah. Hey,
but
one counts for it.
Rather than that, right? The more important thing about the glyph was that he gets the experience coming back. Because if he hadn't glyphed that wave, he would have lost a full wave in tower before his respawn. This way, he protects 3 of the enemy creeps, keeping them alive outside of the tower range to come back in. I love the way the glyph has evolved since it got implemented. Like, people have got more and more creative with how to use it and what it can actually contribute to the laning stage. Outside of the obvious intended way it was implemented originally, which was to protect towers, since it started affecting creeps, you can do a lot of cool things with it.
Thompson's copying a lot of damage. CCNC nuking down the wave with tossing back Thompson. So he took all the brunt of the damage from the towers.
CCNC has a haste rune. When he gets Avalanche again, Thompson could just flat out die here. Half HP, he has no regen. Does he have anything coming in? No, he doesn't.
Courier only brings in, well, he's got a Mango. He's backing up for the 5-minute shrine.
Yeah, he might stack a camp or 2 as well to farm with Quills. Actually, it's just going to farm a doubles.
Man, up on top lane, snaking. Heavy amounts of damage. Notel still got that plus 115. Snaking's low. MSS needs a load of extra space. Got his 4-stick charges, so Notel's not going to force this issue.
Now it's time for bounties.
But CCNC's coming over for the 5-minute bounty runes. And if he moves fast enough, he might even get his own opening as Lifestealer. Yawar with a follow-up stun. It's going to be repelled out by Seb. But this is 4 bounty runes going the way of Newbee.
That's really, really big for them.
That actually means that OG has claimed what? 1 bounty rune? This is like so far in this game.
Got 1 rune only.
It's a good thing they're not running Alchemist.
Then they would have probably got a little bit different approach entirely to the game. But yeah, that's really big for Newbee. That's the same as getting like 2 kills in terms of just raw gold.
I still wonder, like, how long does this keep going this way? Like, you got 1 kill the way of OG. The gold advantage is about 1,000 to Newbee. The CS is pretty even across the board. But we've seen these timings from OG. Once Ana gets a little bit bigger, starts to sync up with a couple of his other heroes, like the OG just roll over every other team. How does Newbee prepare for this?
They could try to out-tempo them before Wisp is level 15. So there's going to be this really strong timing for Newbee when all their heroes are level 6, when they have Visage Birds, when they have Roar, when they have the Soulbind like we've talked about. I think they should be favored in fights around that timing. OG's lineup doesn't have that much in the way of damage except the Bristleback for a while. So I think that would be a good approach. And then if you get ahead during that time, then when Wisp does hit the level 15, maybe you chill a little bit, get key items, and then you can go again. Auras are also a great solution in this game, which they will have plenty of with the Beastmaster.
Yeah.
So armor auras are really good against the Bristleback. Not so good against the IO, of course, but maybe you can buy a pipe.
They're ganking up on top. At the same time, Notel and Ana are coming into the tier 1 tower. This smoke maneuver from Pylai Dai and CCNC. This could be really punishing. If they can kill off Ana at the beginning, he tethers back. Actually, Notel's the one being slowed down. CCNC, he really wants to kill off the IO. He doesn't want the ET. Ana is the primary target, number 1. Notel puts him to sleep. CCNC was just out of range for it, and he'll come back in with the stun, but no, Ana tethers away to safety. Now Notel brings in this plus 160 damage to dissuade Newbee. The failed rotation from Newbee is going to cost them. They really wanted that kill on Ana, but the positional play from OG, just too good.
That was just a flat-out outplay by Ana. Going into the bottom left corner there, so the Avalanche misses. Top lane, though, they're still going to get no-till here, I think.
Yeah, the stuns are out. Ana can't give that much, and that's actually first blood. Remember that technically the first one that happened was the denial inside the jungle. Still shows up on the board.
Thompson, mid lane.
CCNC's getting hurt. Thompson's still going to be a little bit more wary. Yeah, he's got double braces.
He has a lot of CS. He pushes out the lane, he retreats to the jungle, he farms 2 stacks. Mid-Bristle is one of the more effective farmers in the game.
Jirax may be in a little bit of trouble. Seb, he's trying to wait for the right purification time. Jirax going to pick him up, throw him back in again. Yoar, he's looking for a creep to infest into, and then he can start fighting again. Pop straight back out again, up to a lot of life. And the harassment kind of counts for nothing. There's up. Here they go once more. That nice observed ward is in deep. Toss in forward, just putting MSS on the front lines. No tower will fall. There's Newbee. Now start getting a little bit more active across the map, hunting for kills. And they've got that range enabler through CCNC.
I don't know how to laugh into the chat wheel. It's so...
Hey, what did they say in the thing? Like, I just want to be free. I want to be free to play Dota.
They also said, I want to use chat wheel. They were on holiday in Australia and they were like, I want to use chat wheel.
Yeah, shout out to the boat guy.
Yeah, the boat guy was great.
Yeah, can we have the boat guy on chat wheel? I'll be down for that.
I like what CCNC is doing in mid here. He's identifying that he pressured the Bristleback away from the lane for a bit, and that Bristle will also want to semi-jungle. So he's trying to constantly push the wave into the mid tower to force a response and defense, and that will allow him to eventually break down this tower. He's got about half of it so far, which is great.
They also identified the fact that Notel's preparing stacks. Grimstroke's in very deep. The Observer Ward's there. The Stomp not going to sleep up anyway. Grimstroke just going to TP away, realizing the stun's already been used. But these 2 Observer Wards has been placed down. Every time I've seen OG play this IO on Dire's side, they've always pulled him back around that 10-minute mark just to farming up those stack areas. And they're not looking to block. They're looking to contest with the wards. And here it is. Ana walks up high ground. It's like, all right, boys, maybe we should start getting some sentries out because now they're going to try and flash farm him. How much damage can you do? Like, do you actually just start pushing towers as opposed to contesting him?
That's one option. It's what Beastmaster's definitely going to do top, but No-Tail will try his best to delay this push as much as possible. One downside to playing 5 Elder Titan, though, is that your mana pool is relatively limited, so he kind of needs IO to sustain him.
In the middle of the Ancients, he's battling for the 10-minute bounty runes. Once again, Newbee claiming all 4 bounty runes. Back-to-back bounty winners. Relocate from IO. It's pure efficiency. But he's already finished up the Dominator. I like how they're even giving the IO the tome.
Yep, get level 7, so you get level 4 spirits. And yeah, he's just jungling. He's got the Dom creep, got a wolf.
The Observer Wards are still watching this, but obviously Newbee know. Like, if they're going to go for it, then they've really got to go for it. The top lane may be an easier choice. You got Beastmaster Aura up on snaking, Notel's backing off. The Spirit walked over the top of Grimstroke, but I don't think it actually clipped him enough.
doesn't look like OG are too interested in trying to even defend that tower.
No.
They're looking for a play of their own bottom. They have siege creeps. They've brought down the Bristle back. So I think we're going to see a 1-for-1 tower trade here with CCNC still trying to push out mid and getting whatever damage he can on that tower.
Such a hard hero to go on bottom lane, though. Like, Yawa's not going to go down. Like, that's still a lifesteal. His Infest is down. And looks like GRX, yeah, you'll be able to steal Rage, so that's all. So tier 1, as you said, for a tier 1 tower. Straight trade-off. Anarchy's moving out of the jungle to ensure the tier 1 tower remains alive in mid. But with this movement up from Newbee, one, they'll get the D-ward on the Dire Obs if they see it as they walk past, which they definitely should. It's in range of the sentry. They got to get rid of it quickly because the rest of OG is coming. Notal and Ana trying to work with the Alpha Wolf, even shrining early up. But the familiar birds are ready to fight. And they do not want to give Ana this room to breathe. And MSS even looking to steal the camp. Now Notel, actually on bottom lane too, but the stun, it comes in towards the Elder Titan. The nuke damage is a little bit faster. Yawar able to just get himself away. Thompson underneath the tier 2 towers in pretty deep if anyone wants to try and contest that, but Newbee had pitched a tent right here inside the Dire jungle, and they don't want to go anywhere else. Even Pilot Eye with fresh Observer was to make it work.
They're limiting Io's farm a lot if they can play aggressively up here, but
Thompson's
it's really
actually dead. He's so deep underneath this tower. They've got all the damage in the world. He couldn't use his TP to get away from this. And Yawar wants to remind him who's in charge. Tip Thompson 4-1. And he was the number one net, or he is the number 1 net worth on the field. But the 3 right behind him are Newbies.
It's a big kill, but at the same time, it does force Newbee out of OG's jungle. That's what you get out of playing aggressive with Bristle like this. You know, to kill this guy, they need 3 heroes. If they're going to bring them and get that kill, he creates a lot of space for the other 2 cores in his team. Both the Omni Knight and the Io will now be getting a little bit of space. But you've got to be careful not to die too much on Bristle. Like you said, it's the richest hero on the field, so a very valuable kill.
Do you actually like it where like Bristol's getting so much fun, but it's the lifestealer? He's finished the Midas very early on, building in towards the Radiance. Yawar's timing is not being slowed down at all. Yeah. He's going to be ready for the team fight, probably before OG is.
Yeah, I think Newbee are in a pretty good position here. And what it's going to come down to is the Io's timing. I don't think OG are going to look to do anything, really, until Io is level 15. So level 15 Io with Axe, the faster the better for them.
Smoke up on mid, fortifications trying to let OG's wave push in a little bit harder, but they're wrapping around the back. The ET splitter, it's all going onto the Tiny, but CCSC will tank it up. They chain them together. Jirax dies so quickly. Notal's going to join him as well. The GA from Seb, it arrives, but it's so late. And now Thompson, this chain stun just continues to go on. The GA will wear off. Most of the abilities already been burned from Newbee. The tower still brought down as well. That went to Thompson.
Good luck killing the Bristle with Omni next to him.
Yeah.
That's
a little harder.
Double damage.
Double damage.
But that entire fight happened without the Lifestealer, without the IO. The 2 are still on the polar sides of the map, having their own play. CCNC. Man, Thompson's going after him. 4 Quill Spray stacks, Familiar drop 1 and 2, creates a little bit of space. Stun time doesn't last long. And, well, there is no stun available to stop CCNC's TP out.
OG still got the mid tower though, which is nice. Like, even if their heroes aren't particularly good at taking team fights, which was somewhat apparent there unless they're all together, they got the objective that they came for. And they're willing to lose 2 supports for that.
Grimstroke's in a little bit of trouble underneath the tower, looking for the stun for Thompson. Easy movement speed to get away. The silence will slow him down a little bit, but MSS looking for a rebuttal. Just some damage into Seb, but 1 by 1, Newbee are up here. The Blink Dagger of CCNC is about to arrive, but he's lost his teammates. Is there a toss back? No, he just blinks over. He's going for the 15-minute runes, close towards his Beastmaster.
The Stomp did not connect. This time OG get 1 rune.
Yeah, they got bottom. They got that from with Jirax. I think CCNC is really looking for a big burst.
Oh wait, they got 2 runes. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they got the 1 up on top and 1 on bottom. So Thompson and Jirax.
Actually, I thought they only got 1 top.
Raw, snaking.
Oh, he got it all.
Over on the top lane, and Omni Knight already protected by the Heavenly Grace. Notel gonna ET splitter. It's more of space creation, nothing more. While
really
on bottom lane, Jirax is maybe a little bit too far forward. Grimstroke's got the silence available. Lifestealer moves forward, but then there's a Rage TP away to safety. Have they got the DPS? They do not. He actually was going to get the silence in.
If Seb doesn't get the Heavenly Grace off there, he dies. the cast point on Heavenly Grace is pretty small. It's pretty fast to cast that spell, so reacted in time for the roar, and effectively just baited out a roar.
Do you like this with Grimstroke skipping the Soulbind at level 7? He's gone 4 points up in the Inkswell instead, but I was only thinking because that mid-fight, I was wondering where the Soulbind was. Where was the doubling of the roar of the abilities?
I think sometimes it can be fine to bypass it. He has a lot of synergies this game, though, but I do think he should probably skill at level 8, because the kind of fights that are going to be coming soon is with OG grouping up. IO is closing in on level 15. Newbie should know what's coming their way then, and the Soulbind can be the difference maker. Soulbinding IO to another hero, limiting IO's mobility, which is really high, of course, by being tethered to the Dom creep, is going to be really useful.
I don't think CCNC really wants this. No Talon Thompson. They're chasing the Tiny. It feels like CCNC is now just trying to create more and more space. You are still not finished up the Radiance just yet. Pylai Dai is going to have some issues inside the Dire jungle. Maybe he can deny himself up to the Ancients. This is kind of his hope, but it won't happen. Ana will claim his first kill of the game, and with that, the Aghanim Scepter is done 17 minutes in. Trade-off will be the Tier 1 tower in mid. No fortification to stop that. Just the ET stomp to slow it down.
It's a good spell still from Jerax, by the way. This is super useful for the next 3 minutes. I don't know if there's anything he wants more than this. Maybe if he can steal Roar after using Inkswell, it can give them a fantastic fight. But Inkswelling a Bristleback that's tethered basically hastes him almost, and that's dangerous.
This is the time that Newbee will be properly tested.
Yep.
You've got Bristleback totally ready to fight. Full Crimson Guard. You actually have a medallion flying out in the courier. Mass wards are arriving as well. You have the Aghanim Scepter and Dominator build over on the IO. Ana can relocate in if they find themselves a fight. So they smoke up and they look for it. But what does Newbee do? They hide out. In fact, they then move their own smoke down to bottom lane. They're chasing Ana in the trees, and they need to stop that. They need to actually stop the relocate. They're able to do so. The silence arrived in time from Pylai Dai, and Ana totally controlled. He moved his Dominator creep back so he can potentially tether away to safety, but that won't happen. But Ana loses his life. What's the rebuttal? With always OG, there's a trade. It's the Tier 1 tower top.
Yep. And there's no way they defend that from Newbee, but they're buying time, right? They need to get this Lifestealer his Radiance.
Yep.
Lifestealer has not really been much of a hero this game so far, as it usually is when you go the Radiance build. You need that time to build up. And so far, so good. Sure, you lose this top tier 1 tower. I don't think it's the biggest deal as long as you don't start losing map control completely.
Oh, found a new target. Grimstroke is actually the Inkswell that Jirax still had. Stunning up Lifestealer. Rage is available. He's got a creep wave to infest into, and he's got some problems. Thompson's moved in through the lane too. He needs a little bit more time. Who's he going to reach? A familiar? Is he going to reach anyone? They just have the Avalanche to create some space with MSS's stuns. Up they go. Toss them away. Shrine's still on cooldown for the moment, but Yawar can get life straight out of the jungle. They have to keep him alive. 4.5k gold on Yawar.
And OG, they could Roche really soon. Are they actually?
They're going in. They have Medallion, so why not? Alpha Wolf's there too.
Medallion, Goo, Wolf. Yep. It's a quick hit. Wow, that's faster than I thought it would. So I knew it would be pretty fast.
Newbee can just go for a trade then. It's the Tier 1 tower on bottom lane for Roshan, that's all.
But now it gets dangerous. I think OG will try to maybe even high ground with this, because they've hit this like insane timing now. Either they high ground now or they wait for the heart, which is probably going to take longer than the Aegis unless Ana has some ridiculous kill streak coming his way now. So
they're chasing CCNC. This Blink's on cooldown. Paradise nearby. He'll give a little bit of extra help, but Jirax has the toss available. Doesn't even get the stun off through the Inkswell. Paradise TP out. Takes a little longer, but he'll be away. So only chip damage into the Tier 2. And Yawar gets away with the bounty rune. Radiance is flying over. He'll send that straight back as he rage TPs away to safety.
Pretty even game right now, though. But you kind of have this feeling that OG will have this ridiculous fight soon coming their way. After what you've seen in the group stages, how they've run this lineup, them having the Aegis. Oh, that courier needs to not die. All right, they got the Radiance at least, but
they get a little Pylai Dai. MSS will have some space. Yawar beating into Ana, relocates away to safety. And she relocated into that. And now Thompson battles against Yawar. Yawar, he kind of needs a creep to work with. He needs something to work with. MSS can't help him out. And Thompson, Brave Chill, Jirax moved in through the side. A quick toss, catching the two of them together. They just keep buffing up Thompson. Not even a ridiculous team fight. It's just an easy play where Topson knows just how strong he is. Grabs the creep wave from up on top. He'll pull it towards mid as well. So all the pressure from snaking to the tier 2 tower will also just be negated.
OG just have insane vision up here. Ana knew exactly what he could get away with that relocate play because of the deep ward that they've had for so long. 3 minutes. They've had this deep high ground ward in the Radiant top jungle. And it's high ground time.
It is. 21 minutes in is the OG special. Pushing into the tier 3 tower. So snaking. They just have to almost let it go. Fortification will arrive, but until Lifesteal is back up, they can't fight. But new items arriving. Solar Crest is up. Rod of Atos on Omni Knight. They'll take the tier 3 tower. And there's no reason why you need to back up. Not unless a big initiation from Newbee is able to connect. Ana and Topson, the ones on the front line. Remember, Ana's still got that Aegis Immortal. Yawar copying heavy damage early on. The rest of OG, Smoke sitting behind. CCNC, nice toss back. They pull Ana in so deep under the tier 4 towers. They kill him quickly. The CCNC pounced on by the rest of OG. He won't have the ability to fight again here as the stop. It puts all of Newbee to sleep under the tier 4 towers. The Soulbind tries to connect. Now there she got anything. Can they kill Ana once again with the Soul Assumption? He's just tanking through all of this with the one charges. Topson stacking everybody up as well with the cool sprays. They can get back to base, but even that's not safe. One more spray. Maybe Snaking will die. Topson waiting under the tower. He's just tanking through all of it. A triple kill for Topson. Nowhere is safe when OG hit their timing.
He just killed 3 heroes with the fountain. Oh, Bristleback, what a hero. Beautiful play from OG there. I think it was an admirable attempt from CCNC to toss the IO into the tower, but dying for that kill without having buyback is just too costly. They can't take the fight afterwards. They don't have enough damage to get through the IO twice with the Omni Knight protecting it, as well as a good defensive stomp from No-Tail, stopping 2 heroes on the Aegis respawn. They kind of used up their entire tank on the first kill, as we see in the replay here. They try to go on the IO. That's just not enough. He gets healed up, gets Heavenly Graced, and even relocates.
For a moment it looked like they would have a chance, but Topson literally stands there and delivers. Oh my. Yes, of course there's a bunch of grins on their face like, hey guys, we got this really great combo it seems that no other team knows how to play against. And it's almost props to Newbee. They let the IO through the first phase. They knew they were going to play against us. They had a plan.
They get props for that?
Well, they get props for attempting. Like it's like a participation ribbon.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea that Newbee had. It just feels like the moment that OG got the Aegis, the game got really hard. And I think that's the biggest mistake Newbee made all game, was going to the bottom side of the map and exposing the Roshan for OG to take, because, yeah, Snaking's dead, by the way.
Yeah, he was trying to force out the bottom lane, but he's walking underneath dire vision.
Basically, what ended up happening was when OG grabbed this Aegis, they felt invincible, because the one way Newbee win fights is by blowing up the IO first. And they can't do it when there's an Aegis on it. They tried it in their base, it failed, and it gave OG pretty much a 10k gold lead. But if you play in that Roshan side of the map instead of the bottom area, the time in the OG goes, maybe you can delay them, maybe you can get a soulbind fight around the Roche pit or whatnot. But it's just too easy when you give a Bristleback lineup with IO that Aegis for free.
MSS now going to work with Yawaz. It's a surprise. He was inside the familiar.
That was a sexy play, actually. That was really nice.
Now Seb's looking for a rebuttal. Yawaz, he's just going to let MSS die. Nothing else that can be done about this. He can do some chip damage in the meantime, but Yawaz had to come back to base because Topson's still here trying to pressure.
They were not expecting that to be an infest play at all.
Familiars used as transportation.
Yep.
And that's some classic Tinker stuff. Everywhere on the map you can go.
OG is still going to get 4 bounties. The game has still been played at their pace for the last 5 minutes, so sure, this Ana kill, it's nice and it looked cool, but you're not progressing the game really. You have to push out your mid lane. Oh, maybe they'll catch Seb.
Need to find a new target. Access to fly out. Oh, Snaking. Does he want to roar on that? Probably not. Pylai dies. Thinking about to slow down. Instead, Snaking. Another boar up. CCNC. It's the Avalanche. Support's coming in. OG, they have chased way too far here, Newbee. OG owned a tier 2 tower. They have friends to help them out. The Soulbind connecting OG together. The Roar catching 2. Respect being pushed around to the side. But man, the Stomp from No-Tail, they just create more and more space. And where is this damage that Newbee was meant to have? It's not there. They should probably be very happy that the only person they lost was CC and C.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. The Omni was just too fast with the phase boots.
They just chase and chase too.
Phase boots and drums. They eventually caught up to him, but they couldn't even get the toss back. Yeah,
now Roar and Soulbind is down. You got a 50-second to a minute window of opportunity for OG to pressure in through bottom.
And
no Aegis Immortal, but they're about to get, with the Tower Death, it's going to be the heart on IO.
Yeah, in the upcoming fight, the IO either had heart or a buyback. That's something else to keep in mind. Sure, maybe you don't have an Aegis, but you can still buyback relocate. Similar to how OG played their Spectre last year. They love playing this hero that can buyback and reconnect to the fight. And this is the only other hero in the game they can put on except Nature's Prophet. Maybe that's the next one he'll play carry. Who knows? But yeah, he's getting the heart. This kill is ridiculously difficult to
jump
perform.
in, toss back. They found themselves a target, but Bristleback with a fresh Assault Cuirass. That's a lot of life and armor they have to get through. Yawar's giving it a shot. OG have come in deep. CCNC once again just stunned up and controlled from the back line, trying to create more space. He'll be the first one to die here. The Roar is finally out, but for what avail? Nothing is really going here. And Thompson, he's the man that's going into the fountain once again. Bathe in the glory of the Radiant. Thompson, he just does not give a crap. Anna will give all the life. This is just fountain farming. Gee, you got it. This is soul breaking. GG.
Okay.
GG. Message has been sent. You weren't home, but we smacked through the door and delivered it anyway.